Nisha to try and shut him down. So we'll see what happens here as we go into our first game of this series. It is PSG.LGD versus Liquid. Welcome everyone to the channel. Let's just jump into this, dude. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, should be a great one. I think there's a lot of back and forth that can happen here. If LGD isn't completely shut down early, their scaling is pretty scary. With a Medusa and Alchemist, both of these heroes can just farm up really damn well. And we have seen what happens when you do allow Medusa some space, like in that TSM game up against 9 Pandas. It didn't quite fully work out, but we saw the potency of the Medusa with just a couple of stat items and illusions coming out on the Manta. It is fairly tanky. Those illusions do hurt. The farming pace with split shot damage being so high now feels pretty damn good. So you really do want to shut down early if you are on Liquid right now. Just prevent that farm game from coming online at all. And I do believe Nisha is queuing up that diffusal we were mentioning. So yeah, looking for that utility, looking for that burn. As long as he wins out mid and the tempo comes out, I mean, you'll have a good timing on it.
See, Monkey King is very interesting where there's certain orbs that work on Wukong's command and work on his soldiers. We'll come back to that in a moment as we're seeing a little bit of a fight for this top rune. Will end up going the way of Zeal. Box, you gotta take a ton of damage here from Y as well, and the blood grenade to slow him up. The axes trying to finish him off, but it's the tower armor. He's got an acorn shot. He's gonna try it. Hits the creep wave instead. Okay. A lot of aggression coming out here at the start of this, but Boxy just barely surviving is quite big.
That's a big one. They waste a lot of resources. I think they threw out a blood grenade as well.
Yep.
And they were trying to hand a kill over, but they lose out in that kill instead. So you get a little bit more of leeway. You can just kind of reset for Boxy, the solo lane. For the Morphling, it is fairly annoying. At the same time, you at least can kind of shift around. Maybe ask for some regen on the Rubik's return. So not too bad to manage. Taking a look at that mid, pretty even to start with. I don't think the Alk field's too bad in the first 2, maybe 3 levels. Although Nisha can start to apply some pressure once he can threaten with a Boundless. For the most part, you just drop the acid spray for nothing to say. Farm up. It is harder for the Alchemist to look for the aggression. With Unstable, again, having this dodge and a Mischief does mean that the aggressive Alchem lane isn't quite there. So Nisha shouldn't be under any threat early on. So it should be relatively stable farming.
Yeah, the thing that makes Alk so strong in the sidelines right now, obviously, is just the fact that you're going to always hit this Unstable Concoction onto the Acid Spray, and it is just so much damage. And in the lane, it's... Oh, well, as I say, it's so much easier to dodge, but Nisha unfortunately got hit by it there. Let's talk about the side lanes, though. Bottom lane, we're taking a look at this Medusa Elder Titan up against the Underlord Enchantress. Now, Enchantress, very aggressive laner, but again, we talked about the kind of reasoning behind this Medusa into the Underlord. This Firestorm does substantially lower damage against this Medusa hero, right?
Yeah, I'd say pretty much almost no damage. I mean, you'll burn maybe at lower levels around 20 mana per tick of damage.
They see him. I'm not 100% sure why he's all the way up here, but...
Is he just sending... No, I thought he had his spirit out. Oh, yeah, he does. It's going to cross the map.
It's going to cross the map. Oh, my goodness. Uh-oh. That's 86 bonus damage. All right, why playing the mind... or, like, just next-level plays here? Bottom lane, though, Shiro, he's lost his mana, so... He's going to have to come back with that a little bit later. They swapped the lanes, though. How do you feel about this, putting the Hoodwink bottom and the Elder Titan top?
You don't really get too much aggression out with the Medusa. Double range at least pokes the Underlord a little bit better. It's not like the Elder Titan's too comfy running up to the Underlord with the Enchantress around as well. You can kind of play top. Just try to get your spirits out, get some harassment onto the Rubik. They're not as scary with her damage output so far early on. I'm wondering if Y will keep trying to get that spirit run through the map, because I think there is a lot of potency in winning your lane that way. I mean, nothing to say though.
Did NTS just self-stun?
That was genius.
I think he did.
No, he went to stun and got Boundless, and then the concoction went off.
Yeah.
Oh, Nisha, that is gonna absolutely just fall, like this lane. That lane's gonna fall apart for the Alk now. That is such a sick play from him, though.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, the Monkey King has that advantage with the levels up. You can't really threaten here for nothing to say. I'll try again, but okay, he gets a stun off without being punished this time around. So he'll get some harassment off, but he's going to need to recover. Like, the slower laning start for the Alk, especially in mid, does not feel great. Down bot, though.
Getting aggressive there. Planet managed to take down that hoodwink. Ishiro on the run, caught by the blood grenade. Will try and make his way under the tower, but Zai hits so hard. Well, I mean, it looks more than normal. It's more of just Medusa having no HPs. But either way, very good trade there. Very valuable for the side of Liquid.
They get the gate usage out. They come in. They swap their lanes as well. They send the Enchantress up top. So Insane is just going to be camping along with Mike. And you're already off to a good footing for Liquid. Right, you're applying pressure onto these two cores. The Alchemist and the Medusa already won that in. Doesn't feel like the supports are able to really go for stacks too much. We're not seeing Boar Micro as well from Zeal to try to build up some stacks in the Ancients. So the recovery plan for these two heroes, it's a little bit rougher. I mean, you're at the point where Nothing Say is just even being contested in his jungle by Boxy. It's not a kill threat they wreck. Oh, okay, maybe it's a kill threat.
I mean, this is fine, right? Like, slowing down the Alk is probably the most important thing. Like you said, attach to your Space Maker in the mid game. Top lane, they are going to get aggressive here on to Zeal. The waveform will dodge out the Stomp as Mickey continues to chase down the Beastmaster. One more auto attack and will secure the kill. Planet sitting up here as well. Why out of health? The Spirit expiring. One more auto attack from Insania. He is just crushing these heroes with this Hellbear. As they manage to find themselves 2 more kills here in the top lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're working everything out. Liquid, they've got that aggression early. They've got really good rotations coming out from Boxing and Singing.
Look at NPS!
Oh my god.
Rubik cliffed him!
Oh, he got lifted. No, he has no TP as well. That is he's stuck.
That's a rough one. Nisha also finding a solo kill there on the Planet. Does he have a TP available at all? He doesn't actually have a TP. Unless Elder Titan's bringing him a TP. I can't quite tell.
I think he is. Okay.
Okay, he is. And a mango.
And he has a
There you
mango.
go.
Oh my god.
He's getting there.
This is
God.
pain.
Time to go back to base.
Well, this is kind of what we expected coming out with this kind of draft, though, right? That you've got that aggression on Liquid, you can just run down. Maybe not expecting something up like a lift back on the cliff side, but yeah, you find it. To get this early aggression, take the mid, shut down map space. Like, now you've got an Alk and a Medusa who both need recovery farm with their initial items. Nothing Says trying to go for the Meteor Hammer. The timing is going to feel rather off, and just finding wins in every other lane.
Yep. And Nisha with a haste rune finding the free kill there. Top lane. But yeah, mid lane. I mean, all this space that was made, you have a level 4 Alchemist. Nisha, level 6, almost 7 here on this Monkey King. Looking mid, he has found the strike, and I mean, Jingu stack number 3, so he's full HP once again. And you have an 80 HP mid lane tower now.
It's just a shove away. And even with all that attention to the sides, you know, it's not like you're getting that much more space out for your other cores. Like, Shiro can't really do much against the Underlord. I mean, he's not going to die solo. At the same time, you're not the comfiest farming hero either. You need that support on hand to threaten back. They will at least find some punishment onto Boxy.
He was going for the Wisdom Rune, but he stole it, so it's worth it. He stole the Wisdom Rune.
Yeah,
in a game where you're already so far behind in XP, that is so huge.
It's painful right now for LGD, but Liquid playing it perfectly. You know, playing to their strengths. Like, this build up for the Diffusal and Nisha, it's not going to take too long at all. They get the gate out as well, just to get a reset.
Dude, they are just playing so aggressive. They're going to find Shiro here on the Medusa. They're holding the telekinesis just to make sure he cannot TP. NTS coming in on the Alchemist here. Will stun up the Underlord, and Y here as well. And comes Planet, but each of the Wukong's command drops it on top of him. But a nice bushwhack there to buy some space. Is now Zai dodging out through the trees, manages to get out for the moment. They will be able to stun up the Monkey King. I don't know if he gets the Jingu stacks, you just can't survive this. There's going to be the Boundless Strike. They try to stun up the Alchemist. A nice bushwhack here once again. There's nothing to say. Trying to just chase down this Monkey King. They're making it work. Nisha, can he live through this? The damage, it's too much from Y. And now Boxy in some danger as well. They've brought 4 heroes here to the bot lane. That's a level 3 concoction. Ooh, that's close.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
They had to sleep the neutrals as well, just in case Nothing Say gets bonked. So they bail out. They get some good punishment out on LGD. It takes a lot of resources, But they finally get some space going for themselves, some important kills to find. You protect Shiro, get some activity out from Nakinsei. And you're getting that build up top in the solo lane where the Morphin can't really provide the kill threat solo to Beastmaster. So you're trading out a little bit for this movement. On the side of Liquid, have to be cautious about overcommitting like that. And you are ahead. Still have to respect that there is output here. And Medusa is still here with a lot of mana. You know, level 2 mana shield, 996 mana. It takes a while to burn through that. You don't have anything bursty on hand to just clear that out either. At least not until the fuse ults up, and then the Monkey King feels a lot better. But jumping Shiro way beneath the tower is a risk. I do like the mindset though. They know what they have to do. Invading Ancients now.
Boundless Strike come through. It manages to stop the Alchemist from getting the stun off. And NPS, he's stuck. He's level 5 still. The question is, can he actually escape? Box is trying to chase him, but why here on this Elder Titan doing a ton of damage, and they do manage to throw the roar out onto Nisha, so they find the Rubik.
Ooh.
Another bushwhack from Planet, slowing down this whole backline. Dude, Planet has been saving these heroes with this bushwhack over and over. Another Boundless Strike there will connect. He drops the Firestorm. There's nothing to say. Continues to chase, throws the stun, connects here onto this mid lane. They will just back away now.
They're kind of out of gas at the moment. Again, still lacking levels on a lot of these heroes, already expending the roar earlier on from LGD. They are stopping the snowball effect from kicking in for Liquid, at the least. Again, just not bleeding out these kills, getting some space out for other cores while your Alchemist kind of just front lines and tanks it for the team even without that Chemical Rage up. And again, just working onto the neutral.
He's finally going to go down. He's been very, very, very disruptive on this Hoodwink this game so far, but tries to go for the enemy bounty rune. Oh, he ends up getting both of the bounty runes. That's very nice.
Still somewhat worthwhile, especially with the Alch in the game here. So don't mind trading your life away too much. It's a little bit of recovery coming out for Nothing to Say. They are still getting pressured across the lanes with objectives, though. Like, bot is just going to be taken away with Insania having the summoner creep. So more map space open, a little bit harder to reach out for LGD. Not like they had too much control down there anyway, considering that, well, they've just been constantly run down. They don't have vision. It's still an area to farm for a lot of these cores. Nothing to say, though.
He gets caught. No Chemical Rage available either, and Insania with the enchant. It's going to slow them up quite a bit. He might be able to get out here with the tree dance, but we'll see. Yes, let's get the stun out for the moment, but in comes Zai, the telekinesis. Foxy will be able to secure the kill. Elder Titan forced to run away. They are just doing so good at just chasing this Alchemist around the map. He has no ability to get into this game right now.
We've seen this from a few Alks. For the most part, if an Alk gets even a tiny room of space, it just accelerates so fast. But with how far and how shut down Nothing to Say is, it just doesn't feel like we'll see that same Alchemist come out at all. Bottom network 4, barely above Insania in terms of farm right now. Map space just so limited with you having to give the safer farm out to Shiro. So he's just going to cop it every single time. And this Alk, it feels like it's going to be 0 impact for quite some time. You are trading that for farm on Zeal as well. So you've got the mech, the arcane boots up, going into the drums and the Ags next. Still going back for the Ags build. I don't mind that too much. At the same time, it's not the most amazing Beastmaster Ags game, but with good timing into it, like, you frontline pretty well. You can at least disrupt these fights nicely and still have a lot of impact, but it is tempo.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just trying to scout out here and look for this ancient stack. Unfortunately, for the side of Liquid, it's mostly taken. He's looking for Planet now. Insania doing a ton of damage. They will go ahead and try and chase down the enchantments. I don't know if you have the kill threat here, maybe with the sharpshooter. It's actually off the mark anyway. And they're bringing so many heroes up here to just try and find these supports. And meanwhile, all of Liquid's farming. They will be able to send up the enchanters here once again. The roar even committed. They will finally take down the pesky enchantress, but a heavy commitment.
And you have to find every kill that you can get when you're this far behind like you are on LGD. Liquid more than happy to kind of let that slip by. Because now Nisha has the full diffusal flying in. You've got pretty much a free game for Mike. Uncontested up top, never under any pressure. Going straight for the Manta next. And it doesn't feel like you really have a good solution to that Morphling here as well for LGD. outside of maybe your core-to-core matchup with Dusa eventually getting a Scotty, perhaps that's the point where you feel comfy, but again, we're a long ways off from that. And
Yeah.
Liquid, with that fresh defusal on Nisha, just go for a smoke play. If you find Shiro, he's probably dead.
I mean, Nisha's definitely going to go the Aghanim Scepter build eventually. Like, anytime you go this Diffusal build, you play around the soldiers, because it is one of the orbs that does play off of the soldiers that Monkey King can create inside Wukong's command as well. But he might rush for, like, a PKP a little bit earlier. We'll have to see. Either way, Ancient Stacks being picked up a ton all over the map here by PSG.LGD. So this is going to help them quite a bit in terms of getting back into this game. They are stabilizing some of that net worth difference. The big question is, are they going to be able to keep up with Mickey? Because on the Morphling, he's almost level 12, and he is super farmed.
Yeah, he's been left alone too long. Which is down to LGD not being able to play as aggressive. You know, they're just stuck on their side of the map. They're not able to really cross that river. They haven't been able to find any objective as well. So, yeah, you don't have a clean solution again for that Morphling just yet. The farm difference, it's really just down to Say being behind, but he's getting a little bit of room out. Eventually, this Alchemist will be somewhat relevant again, although not with an item advantage, but at item parity, at least the hero can do something in the middle of these fights.
They're looking for Shiro. There's the Diffusal into the Wukong's command. He does get that Stone Gaze off the moment, and Shiro will survive. Foxy will steal the Sharpshooter, though, and you cannot really play into this Wukong's command like that, so they will back away. Oh, nothing to say with the wraparound instead. Does find the Rubik. Okay, nicely done. Nisha hiding up on the high ground here. They do have a nice obs that does scout everything. How did Shiro get all of his mana back? Was there a stack there or something?
Yeah, I think he had a good amount of magic
double
wand
mana boots.
Yeah.
Double
Yeah,
arcane boots. That'll
just
do
to
it.
keep her alive. It's value. It's value for Dusa. Nothing to say?
Yeah, this is, I mean, he actually should be able to get out of this, I think. I like his Solar Crest build, honestly. I think he's looking at this and realizing that he's not going to be able to go this, like, farm-heavy Radiance build out of the mid lane. So he's going more utility, going for this Solar Crest, the minus armor, stacking very well with Acid Spray. I'm curious what he decides to do after that. You're going to see another rotation out here. We do have a nice ob that's scouting pretty much everything as Planet will be leading the charge. Strike comes out, they've caught the Hoodwink, but again, there's a lot of heroes on the backside. Great Hurricane, pulls Planet back in for the Boars, managed to catch the Enchantress. He's trying to heal his way through it, gets that, and like Nature's attendance out, and Sania's gonna survive. They've lost one so far on the side of PSG.LGD as Nisha continues to chase. He's got a Primal Spring available in a few moments, but in comes Mickey, finally joining the fights. Counter-Strike off the mark there. Pit of Malice as well, not going to connect. Just a little bit too out of reach, but a beautiful double kill. The Snake just pops both of the supports. And NTS trying to chase after Mickey. He will be able to. Nisha on the backside in a little bit of trouble as Shiro pops that Stone Gaze. They continue to chase down the Underlord. The Earth Splitter's coming through as well. PSG.LGD making a great find here as they did 3 heroes.
Okay, that's some beautiful punishment coming out from LGD. And those kills bounced them back into parity with Liquid, giving Shiro a lot of these kills as well. The Dusa now working to her own Diffusal Blade, has some stats up with a Manta Style, and we can see how durable Shiro is. Like, unless you somehow just lock in the Dusa into a good duration on that Wukong's, the Dusa just doesn't quite die. And Mika, he tries to clean up, comes in, he's confident with a Manta. He is hard to kill as well, but it's hard to burst most of these heroes down on LGD. Like, the most burstable target right now is probably just Planet, as even the Alchemist, just with that Solar Crest, is more than tanky enough with a Chemical Rage running. So, side of Liquid, they had some good tempo, they had some great ideas, but they've not been able to apply that pressure. And again, we've seen these kinds of heroes, the Dusa and the Alch in particular, from teams like TSM where you have a rough early game. If you just hold out, stall for quite some time, these heroes become relevant, and they still scale. So you just have to ride out this rough early to mid game, which Liquid has provided, but if they don't start to find these kills lining up for themselves once more, as it was in the first 10 minutes of the game for Liquid, then you have some questions about your scaling here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the net worth difference. Just it's been completely pulled back, and yeah, I mean, you don't have the net worth lead as an alchemist, but this is a hero who was so poor only a matter of like 10 minutes ago, and he's not really that far behind the XP anymore. Like these past few fights where they've actually got a lot out of them is really allowing PSG.LGD to get back into this game. And Insania chase down here from Planet. They pop the drums. He's looking for an opening, gets the bushwhack. There's going to be the sharpshooter as well, even the roar. And with the break, they'll have plenty of damage. Shiro grabs himself another kill here. He's got himself a defusal of his own.
I don't mind that. Like, I think he's got enough stats at the moment to feel confident. He's going to work into the Scotty next. The defusal allows him to play around, get the inhibit off, maybe just try to counteract the morphling as well, which I think there's an interesting that you can do if you do morph into the Dusa. Maybe it's just to counteract her own mana shield on Liquid down the line, which is fair. Yes, that is pretty annoying without any mana burn on hand. They will find the mid. They're finding some objectives.
There's going to be the Boundless Strike, does come out. Foxy with the Telekinesis, and nothing to say, does get that Chemical Rage on, but just too much damage there at the beginning. Nisha on the run now, will be able to dodge out the Earth Splitter, as well as the Sharpshooter, it seems, so he'll be able to back away. There's a good rotation in there from the Underlord.
It's a kill they needed on Liquid. And you want to apply pressure to these cores. They find the big kill on, I think, safely. Again, Stimmy his catch-up, slow down his farm a little bit more. Side of LGD, though, I don't know if you really mind anymore that the Alchemist is behind, because your Dusa is your true win conditions game.
Yeah,
and Shiro's managed to work himself up within striking distance of Mika and farm, and Mika has just been farming this entire game. He's not been pressured. He hasn't died. So the fact that the Dusa is up there in farm as well, that's good news for LGD. Like, the investment is paying off.
Absolutely.
I like that they switched this build on Zeal as well for just durability. Like, mech up instead of the Ags, going for the pipe. So more damage mitigation, going for the blink next, just to have some good jump on hand for LGD. Because again, this isn't a particularly amazing Ags game. Maybe it's a 5th item pickup or a freebie from Roche, you're fine with it, but certainly not the top priority.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really curious what they end up doing. Bottom lane, it looks like they're going to go for the Tormentor as it just spawns, so should be able to get this pretty easily thanks to the Morphling. So we'll see who grabs the shard. It will be the Rubik, okay. One of the better shards, obviously, so very happy to grab that. I was also thinking earlier, one of the reasons Crystal Maiden might be so good is the fact that she just could get a free shard every game. And her shard is so good. I know it's not like relevant in this game, but it just occurred to me. I was like, that might influence her win rate quite a bit.
Yeah, that's big, just to have that freebie on here that can farm decently, but does tend to need a lot of utility to maximize something like the shard. So a freebie like that is big. Still a smoke up here from LGD. Don't find anything up top, but might be able to get a weird wraparound down south.
Foxy, ooh, had the concoction running. By chance, oh no! He lost his tree here on Nisha. He doesn't get the BKB off, he's gone. God. A huge was that a tree cut? I can't actually know which one it was. It might have been the telekinesis that stunned them and broke the tree.
Yeah, that was a very weird set of circumstances. Maybe nothing to say. Quelled as well.
That's what I'm wondering. It was either the Quell or the telekinesis, but either way, Nisha just jumping into his doom.
Yeah, the one bright side for Liquid is they forced the first BKB charge of nothing to say out. So you do waste a resource from LGD, but losing Nisha now, this Monkey King has stopped farming for quite some time. And Nisha's kind of wanted to play pacing with a quick defusal build-up, but he hasn't been able to find those kills. Not in the past. It almost feels like 10, maybe 12 minutes. Like since the 10-minute mark in that laning phase, it's just kind of slowing down to a crawl, which favors LGD massively. They're putting Shiro up front. They have the respawn to try.
Aghanim Scepter done on the Morphling. It's nice. The thing is that's a little bit interesting about this is you do steal stats, and Medusa is just missing one of those. So it's not as useful in terms of the stat gain or the stat steal for the Morphling, you know, when used on the Medusa, but being able to reduce her attack speed and her like just general mana pool is very good.
Yeah, it does feel pretty damn good. And again, you get pretty durable, which is why this defusal pick on Medusa is fairly interesting. It deals with The Enchantress stealing your illusions out. It deals with a Morphling turning into you a little bit. We'll keep chasing here.
Nice initiation here. Nisha managed to dodge out the bushwhack as well, as they do see nothing to say here on the side. The Boundless Strike does come out. The BKB from Nisha. The Earth Splitter going to slow them up completely. They'll have to back away.
Radiant's top tower
Space for
is under
Shiro,
attack.
man. Failed rotation. BKB's out as well. As this Medusa now takes that top net worth position and closing it on that Eye of Scotty.
You're still smoke here on it.
And they're going to find Insania. He does go ahead and get the Nature's Attendants off, but the Vessel is there, and he's trying his best to keep himself alive, and it's going to be Y on the front side who goes down first.
Punishment you want on Liquid. It's not the
They
biggest
start
kill,
well.
but
They're going to try. I mean, they've got 30 seconds before this heads to the other side of the map, and I think they're going to get it in time. They got plenty of damage, it looks like.
they've got the output. I think the space given to Shiro is pretty indispensable though. Like Scotty up. So this is the point where the Medusa does get pretty scary. You've got a decent amount of strength now, just from your item build up. You've got a lot of mana to play with your mana shield. The hero is really durable up front. And whether or not you can actually just fully focus on Liquid onto the Medusa, it feels very difficult with the counter control we have from LGD. They've got to find a way to isolate Shiro, maybe kill off the supports first for Liquid. Like if they kill off Planet and Y, I think their fight's simplified to the point where you can handle the Medusa.
They have a DD here on the Medusa as well. They have a good ward here that is scouting this full rotation, so they are going to be able to hide back in these trees. Question is, are they going to see them or not? And it looks like LGD posturing to head back into their jungle, knowing something might be up here. Dude, this Wisdom Rune has been here for so long.
It's cooking up. You know, every 7 minutes it feels
Let it
better.
cook.
Feels worthwhile. No one's
Dude,
picking it up anyway from the enemy side.
Yeah, dude, you just let it. It's just gonna be worth way more XP in 7 minutes. Don't worry about it. Well, not in 7 minutes, in 2 minutes now.
Compound interest.
It's like when you go into
Somewhat.
the jungle and find like 6 bounty runes, and you're like, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
this is what we were waiting for. We do manage to get the ward there on the high ground. Quite good for PSG. That ward was causing him a lot of trouble and making these rotations here.
Yeah, I'm surprised Liquid are taking it a little bit more conservatively, not looking to do too much for the Aegis just yet. Perhaps feeling like Mika does need some defensive items up, so he's working onto the BKB. He had the Scotty queued up earlier, changes his mind for a little bit more spell immunity on hand, which is fair. There is a lot of damage, a lot of control coming out here from the side of LGD. And we have seen what happens when some of these heroes get pinned down. Like Nisha pre-BKB was just very easy to manage. Even with the BKB, some of your debuff, immunity, piercing spells, it does still feel awful in trying to chase up. You might find some stragglers though.
Nisha.
Oh.
Deep dive there. Almost finds the Beastmaster side sweep. Okay, well, Tier 2 tower will be taken in the bot lane here by the Morphling. This will open up at least that outpost, you know. Another TP spawn taken away there. It's one of the... Dude, how do you feel about outposts now? I feel like they're really weird.
They are very weird.
I don't know if they're like... it feels like... I don't know. It just feels useless, to be honest.
Yeah, they're weird. I think as a TP point, they're still really useful, but that's really all they do now. No vision, no EXP. It's not a top priority, but you can feel the difference when you don't have outpost control and there's a fight breaking out for sure. Or trying to position for a smoke. It does make it a little bit more awkward. But yeah, it's not as important as, say, the Wisdom Runes, the Tormentors. Those are definitely higher value. Even controlling the Twin Gates feels a little bit better than controlling Outpost, because it's a freebie.
I can't tell you how many times I
it's a
see
strange one.
teams just put like ward sentries on every Twin Gate and just watch that spot.
It's just way too important. And especially since you get some value, as they are also a little bit of a Roche ward. So it's both of that, like cross-map control and a Roche ward at the same time. Gives you a lot.
It's like a double dip right there.
Efficiency. Spend your gold and resources wisely. You get more done with less. Always feels good. For Liquid, this pacing, I mean, it's not the worst in the world. They still have a slight net worth lead, but you're going into late game now, up against Dusa and Alchemist. The Alchemist is fully recovered. You are now, again, not in top net worth, but you're not bottom. You're not kind of tied with your Enchantress anymore for that net worth spot, so it's not as bad. They go into the Mentor, and they get the free shard onto the Hoodwink as well, so that's pretty big. The Boomerang helps
is
soften
so
up.
good. Yeah, I was wondering when they were going to take that. The thing is that's going to slow down the next spawn of the Tormentor by quite a bit, whereas Liquid's is going to be up in just about 3 minutes. So it's a little bit weird that they waited so long to go back for that, but they have been playing bottom to try and slow down this push for quite a while just giving Shiro the top side of the map to farm, so should work out just fine. And speaking of Shiro, he grabbed the Wisdom Rune there, gets his level 20, so we do have the Stone Gaze Duration talent, which is probably one of the better talents for the Medusa. Just being able to like hold that Stone Gaze for longer, the bonus movement speed is fantastic. I think you can double stone, like you can hit 2 instances of stun off Stone Gaze, right? If they just continue to look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely can. You can kind of stack it up. You do have enough with that added duration. I think you could maybe borderline do 3. Although that's like really, really tight. But you could maybe do it.
Right, they're getting aggressive here as smoke comes out. It's not going to disable stun up Insania with the sharpshooter. That's not even needed. Planet just gets the kill anyway. He's got a Gleipnir on this Hoodwink. He is scaling to be a core.
And that's just scary. Like, the Hoodwink does so much with a couple of items up. Down the line, if you can get, like, a crit stick up, those acorn shots just start to hurt way more. It doesn't take too much investment on the Hoodwink to kind of reach that point. Like, you could argue the same for an Enchantress. You know, Insania has that potential scaling as well. But he has been acting more as fodder. You know, he's not really getting too much space to try to build up himself. And LGD, with just that one pick off, go into a tier 2 tower themselves. So they get a little bit more control. They force out the Fortify, but Liquid aren't in any position to contest so far. And for Liquid, again, a lot of this momentum swings away. Like, they had Aegis, they go back to farming, they tried to get this build up on Mike, on Nisha. And some of that build up is reflecting. Mika is going into the Butterfly next. That could be the one way to just prevent this physical output from coming through for Natsume and Shiro. But this Deuce is just too big.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have enough to burst her down.
Woo! Foxy gets the blink away there. Nice little sentry. I was going to say, I think Liquid might have forgotten to write down their timer on their Tormentor, because I knew it was just after the 21-minute mark. They wasted a lot of time. They were standing over there for about a minute, just waiting for the Tormentor to spawn at 30 minutes, and it was not available. Boxy will pop a smoke. I guess he doesn't even know about Shiro, but just to pop it there on nothing to say. The rest of them to figure out what happened there, but it's just an Invis Rubik.
Cuts off their movement.
McKay's going back. He wants to grab the Tormentor.
It's fair. Just take that free shard for yourselves here. Still have a lot on the line. Should go to our inch, which it actually ends up on Monkey King. All right.
Interesting one for sure.
Yeah, I'll be frank with you that I don't actually know how useful this is. It feels like it could be useful.
Like just this
in
game
certain
in general?
situations. In this game, yeah, in general. Like, I just don't see this enough.
It's a good escape mechanic. It's like a free blink dagger even in combat, which can be super useful. But I do agree, like, this game, it might not be necessary. We'll see. He'll get out of the high ground. They get the roar off. The telekinesis try and save him. The fourth tap as well. He's just back near his tower. He's got a BKB available. They're holding everything. So much damage being blocked thanks to the Crimson Guard. The question is, can they turn it around? They're going to have to try as a great push out from Planet. The stun's coming out as well. Boundless strike to Wukong's command. Can they turn this fight on the side of Liquid? They're flying back. Mickey takes down the Alchemist. As Zai's going to come right back in with the portal. A really nice way to trap them, but Shiro is just standing his ground. He's lost no mana here in this fight, and Insania needs to get out of here. The Boomerang comes through as well. They're just able to take him down. Planet finds the kill, but Mickey on top of the Medusa finally, as a Boundless Strike has trapped him as well, and PSG.LGD starting to fall one by one. Some costly buybacks, but Liquid managing to even out this fight after what looked like a pretty rough start.
I'm so confused. Shiro was stuck on the gate? I think the Fiend's Gate spawned right on top of him, and he was just stuck. He couldn't move.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he literally couldn't move. He was just stuck there with his Silver Edge. So he
That's some
couldn't
sick
hit, he
tech,
couldn't
dude.
retreat. And that gives him the kill. I don't know if that was on purpose at all from Liquid. I think it was just... Maybe it was, but they didn't have vision to hit the Dusa, so I'm guessing just very happy coincidence. And they clean up once the Dusa doesn't have that backup. It does take some time, but the Dusa, when the Mana Shield is gone, like it does still melt, even at 1.2k HP, which is really not that much.
So,
So-
was he invis and Zai just happened to throw the gate
Yeah.
and landed on the
I'm
Dusa?
pretty sure he was still on the Silver Edge. I thought he was trying to channel through the gate, but he wasn't. He was just stuck. Like his hero hitbox was just fluctuating. It was weird.
They're gonna find him here. He's got the shard though, so he should be plenty tanky. Certified. Hold on, we're gonna see the replay here and see if that's. It is what happened. Oh
Yeah,
my
he's
gosh!
stuck. I told
He's just
you.
stuck
It's
on the
like, what the
gate.
hell? He's just there.
Dude, Zai, unintentional god gamer. He came out and got like as soon as he used the Silver Edge active, it kind of shoved him out of the portal. But yeah, it definitely just trapped him. It's like when there was that bug when like Yules would trap people under it. Like if you were phased and like someone used the Yules, you would get trapped under the Yule Scepter.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's pretty painful to lose a fight that way for the side of LGD. And that could have been their way to get more map control off, start to shut this game down. But Liquid, they stay in it. And they're ready to go again.
Alright. See what happens here in the top side. Foxy. Smoke's gonna get popped. They have vision. As NTS is gonna channel that concoction. He's popped Chemical Rage as well. So this is gonna slow them down actually quite a bit as they won't have the full duration for the fight.
They're not forcing it out here on Liquid. Playing it patient. They see that butterfly up now on Shiro, so his EHP expands massively with the evasion.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit troublesome to deal with. You don't really have magical burst on hand again to kind of handle that Dusa.
Mickey's
They're
queued
not
up the
willing
MKB
to-
immediately as a result.
Yeah, he needs it.
Yeah, isn't that surprising? And they're going for Halberd as well on Nisha, so they are just building in to stop this Medusa. I feel like she is most of the damage, at least at the moment, for PSG.LGD. That being said, nothing to say is Alchemist. Alchemist in general right now is a hero that does scale. He used to be one of these, like, kind of peaks at 35, 40 minutes. But this hero does scale now, I think, pretty well. Oh, they get the vision thanks to the Hawk. They get the Force Staff out as well as a second one. They're chasing with the Sharpshooter. Zai will be able to survive. Gets the Crimson Guard and the Greaves off. His Beastmaster just gets destroyed. Shiro on the run, dusted up at the moment. They're going to buy back here on the Beastmaster. They're trying to zone them out, but Shiro on this Medusa doing the work, but he's all alone here. He's going to need help from the rest of the team. The BKB comes out from Nisha Mike, trying to get on top of his Alchemist and stay there as well. They're just ignoring the Medusa, going for these other heroes. Managed to take down Y. He's going to buy back. Nisha stunned up for the moment. A nice bushwhack return here onto Shiro. The break onto the Monkey King. He's not getting the Jingu stack. Tried to get telekinesis away, but it's not going to be enough. And now Foxy in trouble, trying to run away, but this Medusa has done too much. An ultra kill for Shiro as Liquid in a big problem now as Roshan's going to go the way of PSG.LGD.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty fast take as well with the damage you have. Would have been a lot faster with the Alchemist, but nothing to say it's not there to provide some of that minus armor. A little bit awkward in that fight for Liquid. Foxy ends up stealing Split Shot at the start of that fight, so he doesn't do anything at all. And that's one of the awkward things with Rubik. You can kind of steal these toggles. So you don't have that utility on the Rubik to take a bigger spell. You waste your Force Staffs in trying to save your Underlord who still falls, and that means you can't kind of try to ping pong around to kite the Deuce away from your bigger cores, and they just get to clean up. LGD bouncing back in this fight in quite strong form, and if you can't hit the Deuce, then it's a tough time for you. Those MKVs have to come out. We are seeing Mika actually skip the MKV now, instead going for a Satanic. So wanting some durability up front, which is understandable. Having a little bit more to stay alive in the middle of these fights does feel like it could give them an edge on Liquid, but that leaves Nisha, for the most part, as your solution to the Medusa. Right, like,
Yeah.
he's still kind of queuing up the MKB, he's going for the Halberd. it's all in on Nisha to handle that hero matchup, but I'm not... It's a little bit rough, especially with your BKB down to 6 seconds. The counter control from LGD is there. And they've been really good at helping Shiro stay alive. Like, he's got the full disperser up. So we finally see that upgrade as well in the core. I believe we saw Timato also upgraded. It feels really good that the Diffusal is just not dead item slot late game. And back to your point about this Alk scaling into the late as well. Like, corrosive weaponry is not to be underestimated. Like, that status resist drop is huge if he manages to build max stacks. The control that comes in is just insane. I'm surprised Nothing to Say is doubling down for more armor, but the Shivas does feel helpful in reducing a lot of the healing here as well. And I suppose you don't... Yeah, the attack speed down helps Shiro. You don't really have too much else to worry about. It is mainly physical. So I suppose just doubling down on that durability is all you kind of need here.
And it looks like they're just going to sit here behind this Medusa. I mean, PSG.LGD manages to take back this gold lead. It's for the second time this game. There was a slight moment where they had it, like maybe 10 minutes ago, but I mean, this is looking really good for the side of PSG.LGD. Your Shiro's almost level 25 on this Medusa. Managing to get the split shot modifiers would be very good. Scotty as well as are going to do a lot of work. Ooh, dodges out that stun. Rubik will be held down and he's dead. He didn't get the disarm off in time. The Roar's going to catch the Enchantress, and it's going to be Shiro trying to find the kill. But Mickey, he did get the Roar off, but he's going to chase after Seal. There's going to be a nice usage of the cheese, though. Into the base is just going to be the Alk and this Medusa just chasing him down as they will buy back now on the Rubik. Nothing to say with the BKB protecting, but Nisha, he's trapped. He's caught out. He's all alone. They bring down the Monkey King, and PSG.LGD, they lose nothing.
They still have the Aegis. They still have that Stone Gaze as well. They didn't have to pop it in Shiro. They can go high ground.
Level 25 on the Medusa now as a result. So those split shot modifiers, you got the Disperser, you got the Scotty, Mindbreaker, all this stuff is going to be really difficult to play around. And Shiro just getting work on the tower. This is all eggs in your Medusa basket, and it's definitely working.
It's paid off. All that space he managed to give Shiro. Jumping in.
Oh, the Roar comes out. You did steal Sharpshooter here on the Rubik, which is quite good if they can actually find an opening, but you need your Monkey King. He's almost all of your damage. The Breaker onto the Underlord as Shiro's going to continue to chase him down. Shiro's losing a lot of mana, but a nice snake. Does get him a little bit back, and Zai will burn down with the help of the Vessel. Mickey trying to clear up this mid-wave. Will be able to do so, but Mickey just crushes the Medusa, and we're seeing, the Morphling matchup is decent if he can stay on top of her. They've got to be able to find these kills. Planet jumps in, manages to find the Enchantress. The break is there, Nothing to Say comes in, gets the stun, and Mickey, he's got to get out. He has no wait for him. He has a BKB and a Satanic.
Oh my god, no buyback.
He didn't BKB or Satanic, he just died.
This could be the end. No buybacks, it's Nisha against the world, and he's not enough. The damage is there from Shiro.
He went back for the Halberd. He doesn't have the MKB, and they're just going to focus down the throne. Your Monkey King can't get into this fight. That's it, man. PSG.LGD taking game number 1. What a comeback.
That was just sick. Like, Liquid have this really good pacing coming out. You know, it's as we expect coming out in the lanes. They crush pretty much every lane.